ropes for split. But ropes are kind of like ladders in CS:GO, with the exception that they're still very accurate on ropes. Yeah, I'm gonna say with the exception.
Yeah, cars are like spaceships, with the exception that they don't go in space. Well, it's a massive fact. The fact that I can shoot accurately on a rope. Ooh, we have some Viper play though, eh?
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. It's quite interesting because when I first started following China Win, I always saw Som play Sova. And we see a lot less Sova actually being played, more and more matches that we're looking at. But when you're looking at the defender side, they do have a Sova on their end, though. So to start things off, though, a Bucky to be purchased for Effie. So he's going to play very close range, which means that he's not going to play in a position where he could spot for a lot of information or at least get gunfights. He's going to jiggle peek to try to look first and then look for something after.
So now, I love this right now. Look at this. Yeah. The double orbs, the split coming in, all with just Viper here. And they're able to take that fairly cleanly, Alex. Look at this.
Okay, I like this. Bucky was actually purchased, but the Classic stayed on the ground. So when he saw no action, switched back to the Classic, and to get 4 kills out of that on a double stack inside B. GMD on top of B Heaven, and it's pretty much very close to a flawless round right now for Gen.G, setting tone early.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at the round, it was a great execution. I cannot say it wasn't. That really looked great coming out from the attackers. But the hold from Gen.G was just that much better. And unfortunately, just not able to capitalize on it. And Gen.G are going to get their first round on the board. Now, I want everybody to pay attention to what Mikhail's doing. He just dropped a cage above the actual opening of B. If he spots anybody, he's able to pop that cage, and he gives him quite the one-way, where he's able to see feet, and nobody can see him. So pay attention for that as we move towards the round.
Especially due to the fact that it doesn't really slow down people anymore. It's good at least to have that audible cue and to have the height advantage as well to just try to react as fast as you can when you're going to try to jump through those. Even a tripwire at chest level 2 could help. And Ghost tried to go a little bit fancy here with jump kills. Same thing for the second player right now on the other side of the wall. And it's a boom bot. Unfortunately, though, it stays in the crack between the box and the wall. So that's a little bit useless, but at least throws paint shells, and that's GMD that connects onto Som. So Viper falls down as well. And long range is going to be GMD with the Bulldog, trying to go for some taps inside Ramen. Effie's going very aggressively with the Spectre, and has support from Mikhail as well. And that's going to be 2 falling down, and the last one to go is going to be DXN. At least the tripwire has been broken. He's going to try to get the spike, or she's going to try to get the spike as Sage.
Easy round.
Yep.
Yeah. Flawless. I mean, and that's what you want, actually. In a round like this, you want to make sure that everybody stays alive. That's the most important thing, because you know you're inevitably going to win the round. Unless things go haywire, right? Of course. Yeah. But if you just play things properly, you should win the round. But if you lose people, and we were talking about it in the previous match, that hurts you in the long run. So keeping those 5 people alive, looking at their money now, I mean, they're able to just kind of count this as a throwaway round in the sense that they're not going to upgrade these Spectres or the Marshal that Nguyen has. Instead, they're just going to go ahead and keep them, see what they get. Quinn. Dude, I feel so bad because he's told me how to pronounce it so many times and I always forget.
Yeah. It's all right. You got it this time. GMD, though, 2 kills with the Bulldog. As Rogcar is trying to make his way in very slowly in case there's a tripwire there, but there is none so far. They are looking to exert some pressure into the A site as well, as Ghost does get the headshot here on to player 1. Quinn now coming down with the Owl drone just to spawn it out, but it's cleared. So he called it for his teammates that they've fallen back. They do hear the humming at least, though, because Ghost was still inside the sewers.
Yeah.
So they could still play this very calmly. They can't really try to go for anything aggressive yet for the last 2 players remaining, especially with Ghost with only 16 HP left.
See what happens here. And this is what I was talking about. I mean, obviously Cypher's not up right now, but just having that Cypher camera on B is something that if Cypher was up, they could have, imagine Sage being in Cypher's position, right? Not even worried about the site, right? Yep. Regardless, though, here we go. Let's see what happens. We are going to see the spike most likely go down. Yeah, spike's going to go down for sure.
Yeah. So 30 seconds left. They're actually going for the long rotator cross, which could give a little bit of cover here from the balcony side. No, I like this because they're trying to plant, I think, very close to the spawn so they could run back in if they can.
See their timing?
Oh my God. Okay, so Ghost does get the headshot. That's no heals for the Sage. They do get the plant basically just close to default on the other side of the spammable box, as you can see right now from the point of view of Ghost. So Rarkar and Ghost in a great crossfire setup where it's basically going to be Rarkar playing contact from the back of the site. That's not going to contact anybody yet with that shock dart. Now long range, GMD does get the kill and trades it off. At least gives that position away, because with only 16 HP, you're throwing your body away to try to make it a 1 versus 1. A dink, and then Rarkar connects with the kill onto Nguyen.
Yeah, I mean, that timing towards spawn, I think they were saying, okay, let's retake Heaven at that point, and that was the timing. But what was unfortunate there was, I mean, all Sage really needs to do is watch her back as she moved towards the Heaven. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if Effie's was just kind of turned around, moving towards the teammate who is already there watching the staircase, essentially, I think that would have worked out a little bit better. But that's always hindsight, right? We can't really say what to do, right? That was just really bad timing, man. He was spinning and watching it the entire time. And the second he commits to turning around, that's when he gets shot in the side. That's a rough one.
Starting to see a lot of this when you're actually creeping out from the vent side all the way to that back box just to get a better angle onto Ramen with the operator. He did spot that Sage, but the Sage was able to fall back here on the attacker side. So that's going to be DXN staying alive. Som looking for cover with the poison wall up and even poison cloud on the left side to try to assert some dominance on this mid.
Yeah.
Force the defenders to come back, and then they could retake it as a team.
Yeah, what we need to realize is that this is unlimited walls right now in mid. Unlimited smokes, unlimited walls. Sova now goes down. Rarkar, that's a great ultimate from Brimstone there. And it does look like a B-split is underway.
That's right. Effie's is still behind the side. Mika is just under him. They managed to get 2 kills. GMD coming in with a showstopper, and Effie's rotates all the way across. It's just easy pickings right now. It's every single kill that we've seen so far on anybody's POV was a backstab shot almost, pretty much. So they had great positioning to basically hold their grounds and prevent any ground from the attacker side to be taken.
Yeah, unfortunately, the thing is when they get the early entry kill in the round, and then off of that early entry kill, they essentially just take off and rush without any information and on any other players. And I think that's really what costed them there. Of course, you have the opportunity to frag out, but you're still running into a site kind of blind without any information. So maybe if they took a second to breathe and see what the defenders were going to do off of that kill they just got, they could have found a little bit more information before actually attacking a site. But regardless, I mean, it was just a good hold coming out from the defenders as well.
So Nico coming through as player 1 was waiting for it with that Fatten, gets that pick onto the Cypher. So Q5 falls soft, meanwhile also falls on that mid side. And we do have that Bucky. Sorry, the shorty. I keep saying
dude, straight up, that's the dopest skin in any video game ever.
For the knife, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of regretting getting my Prime now. My Prime axe. I should have seen
you call it a knife? That's a sword. Look at him, he's swinging a sword. He just two-handed swung that.
I think it's pretty dope, yeah. So Shorty's going on that pistol. Couldn't really get anything done there for the attackers. And again, it was just wasted time at that point. Easy way to build the credit economy right now for the attackers, or for the defenders, sorry. So that's going to be now 4-1, and I think that is what 4 answered rounds since pistol, or did they win the pistol and got eco'd?
No, they got the eco round in there.
Yeah, that's it.
Or I believe it was the eco.
So 4-1 right now is they're pretty much asserting dominance with these gun rounds. Even so much confidence they're peeking double peek towards the garage side, and Effie's is the one that gets the first kill onto Rarkar. So Saul meanwhile is peeking up though. We're going to play this a little bit more aggressively than before to really take control of the vent so they could split into A.
Look at this now. Like you were saying, Sam on the split. He's still creating that mid wall. Still messing with them in mid. Raze does have the idea, though. As you can see, Raze is playing very passive towards that A heaven. But we are seeing a heavy rotation into the site. 3 members of Gen.G here.
GMD, though, gets 1-2 and does not get the hat trick, but at least Nguyen is holding in the back of the site to get the headshot onto Ghost. So now DXN here. The last one, again, this time does have the spike on the 4 versus 1. And he's going to try to walk back into B, but they didn't go for a full rotation here for Gen.G.
Yeah.
So they have a Cypher waiting.
Yeah, regardless, I mean, DXN's going to make that contact. Boom, there you go. Cypher falls off, passive. Sage comes up towards the heaven. No, actually rotates into spawn. Even better of a play because now they're doubled up. 20 seconds on the clock. Goes for the plant. This round is over.
At least they get that 300 credits for each player from that spike plant.
That was interesting because they doubled up. And I figured, well, you doubled up. You don't need to really wait for the fake anymore, right? Because at that point, it kind of like they were in that purgatory of like the hallway. It's like, are you going to let him plant or are you going to go for it? You know what I mean? And I feel like if they just went for it, doubled up, they would have got the trade, or they just sit back comfortably because what ended up happening was he got the plant and was able to get his gun out. And if he actually just held his position, they could have lost a couple people. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So it was just that I think there was a little bit of indecision there, Alex. Just a little bit of indecision. I'll ask. I'll send a message. I'll send a message and ask.
Let us know. We are reading in the chat, by the way, guys, with issues with my mic or my audio, so we're trying to fix that as we go live. So please bear with us as we continue with the action now. 5-1 in favor of the defenders of Gen.G. A nice timing on that smoke to give a chance for the attackers to come through, but a nice brimstone molly onto the ground as well. That fully burns pretty much cute fat boy to about 30 HP, but he still manages to get the kill. Now the Sage is going to revive him up to about 100 HP. Showstopper is about to come up here from Ghost. He will connect onto Nguyen quite easily here. Pistol with 2 dinks, 1 kill. Traded off here from Effie's, but at least he knows that the last 2 players are on the top of heaven. So they're going to go for a res, so they know now 3 players on top of a heaven. And they have great positioning here on this round. I can't believe they turned this around this way.
Dude, Ray surfed on them so hard. It was amazing.
Well, now Fat Boy is in a great position here. Inside CT spawns. Cage to come up here. Sage coming out. No, don't go for the shot.
Goodness.
You had the great position for the guys inside the spawn because nobody was looking to hurt that spawn side. At least Som does have the operator as they're trying to stick that. He gets the headshot. Can he get the third one? Is defusing? No, unfortunately not. He does get the kill, but a defuse does come in from Mikael and Gen.G to make it 6-1. That's so unfortunate. You're trying to go for a shot that far range with the submachine gun from spawn side when Raze is so far up in the air, that does not connect.
Oh, that was brutal. Damn. I feel so bad for Sam on that one. Good effort out of him. Good effort.
The one shot sheriff was actually so nice to watch.
Smoke's down.
Well, now things are looking quite dominant here for Gen.G at this point. Doing a great job on the defense. But again, we talked about it before, where we can't really discredit a team right now because they do have a great composition for defense as well. Because when you're looking at trying to win, they actually do have a Cypher to work with to try to hold that solo B if they wanted to. So they could focus a lot on defense on that mid side, on A side. So
the issue
if they
is
could muster 2 rounds here.
Yeah, I mean, well, not even 2. I feel like you're going to need a 4, 5, maybe. Like I think that's where you're gonna have to sit at. Like I wouldn't be comfortable with like 3 rounds on this half. It's just as we actually see Silva pick up the first entry onto Ghost right now, and not really much trading going off of that. But yeah, as I was saying, it's just the way I see it going down right now, Alex. It's like you need to give yourself a little bit more room in terms of like bad rounds or just rounds where things don't go your way. And having only a couple isn't going to do it for them. But it does look like they are going to get their second at least.
Yeah, all out running here towards this mid side to get the openers from Heaven into B. They even push down towards Spawn. This is going to be very hard on a rotate. Even Sova is staying all the way back towards A side because they still have no idea if it's actually coming into B for a plant. But as they come across this tripwire, they will know now. Meanwhile, though, Som, as he pushed towards that Spawn side, it would have been easier for him to take it here. He gets the kill onto Nguyen on top of that on rotation, and cute fat boy operator kill on that last one. So they do get that second round, as you called and predicted, Evan.
Yeah, and what's the money looking like right now? Let's take a look at that. So we are going to see a buy come up from Gen.G, but it is the end of their moolah. The cash money has come to an end. Very important round here for them. On the side of the attackers, however, Alex, they've got something to play with. So even if they lose this round, Alex, they'll still be able to buy up again This is a very important round for Gen.G. Not only do you need to win the round confidently, they need to win the round essentially to just stay in this game and keep it going with the momentum, but they need to win it with 5 people alive to keep that economy in their pockets.
That's right. And from their position, it seems as though it's still very passive so far. They're going for a wall through the smoke at mid. So that's a good way to start things off, but we're using a lot of utilities on the raise of the attackers to break that wall and nullify it right away. This is going to give a chance now, once again, for Som to go for that poison wall, poison cloud as well. But there's a gap in here. Could this be the one that's going to help FUs to get the kill? No, they run out of poison, so that's going to come down. Meanwhile, though, we have fallen back to try to have the spike carrier move towards this B entrance of the garage with 2 players. They're going to move close enough to hear that tripwire, so they're going to break it and execute right into the site. So Mikael has to come up huge right now. They're running through it. Cage triggered, so you could actually hear the audible cues on top of that. The wall to boost the wall to go for the cross if they can. But they're running back, actually. They're running back towards A.
Wow, what a fake here. Look where Viper is positioned as well. Cutting off that rotation now, coming up the vents. This might lose them the round, but that is a massive kill now. We are going to see the spike start rotating over 4 members of Gen.G over towards that B bomb site, Alex. They're going to have a hard time retaking it.
You can tell right now that these guys have been practicing as a group since the beginning, since the exception, since the beta came out of this game. To play fakes at that point for a team where you don't know if it was like for fun or not, because they have so many different players from different games that grouped up together to play this one. But you can see that they're putting the time and effort to really be a dominant team in this game so far. Meanwhile, though, back in the action, a 4-on-3 situation. They do have a Brimstone ult. Indeed, it comes down on the defender side, but it's actually counterattacked by their own orbital strike. They're even trying to spam through it. DXN being tapped slightly through the map. As he peeks out, does get the kill onto GMD. Cute fight boy, up kill onto player 1. And the last one is now spotted. Nice swing from DXN. Indeed to hold that to get the 3rd round.
Yeah, I didn't completely see where the Brimstone ulti landed. I should have taken a look at radar there, but I think it landed just on the exit of that CT spawn towards the A site, the backhaul. So they just couldn't come out and they had to wait. And what that allowed for was actually inside the site there, DXN, who moved out because that Brimstone ulti was on him. Yeah. He was able to reposition himself, actually take another fight, get a heal off. So that was a huge, huge Brimstone ulti by Rarkar to stop that initial push.
So here's what you talked about here, Evan. The money is broken right now for the defenders, so they're buying whatever they can as a team to be able to get a gun round onto the next, and it works off because the ones that actually do get a buy starts off with GMD Guimont getting the kill. Now at least we have a couple of kills coming in with the pistols, and Cute Fat Boy retaliates back to open up the A site. Here comes a retake at least. Can he manage to salvage a gun from a kill outside of that? We'll soon find out, because it did get a kill at mid on Ramen to start things off. So I think the Sage might have picked one up. So Guimont is now moving forward with his teammates. Gonna go for paint shells in the site. Effie's going for a double kill. So that's what I talked about. So Effie's was able to pick up a Vandal here from that mid side, gets 2 kills on top of that, and now it's a 3 versus 1. So Cute Fat Boy with the operator in the back of the site as a Cypher is being iced at the same time. First one connects. Close range, almost a collateral, but Nguyen does manage to get the kill. And it's going to be the defuse coming through. 7-3 right now for Gen.G as a much-needed round, especially on a forced buy that they had. It's nice that they turned it around.
I saw the double coming. I saw it. I saw it right there. I was like, oh. Nonetheless, yeah, that was a much-needed round for Gen.G. I mean, that was such a forced buy out of them. But they're able to pull it off, Alex, and that's exactly what needed to happen there. 7-3 is our scoreline. As we have 2 more rounds left to play, 2 more rounds left to play in this first half. I mean, if I'm on the side of the attackers right now, I'm looking to pick up the pace a little bit. Just surprise Gen.G with a little bit of the faster play.
And is it going to be this case so far? Brimstone smoke towards heaven. There goes that Viper wall. And Gen.G, Nguyen is just going to look for some... Oh, well, it's going to be immediately shut down there by Som.
Yeah.
So they're going to work with a lot of... Sorry, go ahead, Evan.
No, I was just going to say there's no way that they're going to be able to get this fast play off, just the way that Gen.G is stopping them initially. Oh, good trade, though. Definitely good trade.
Yeah. They don't have ultimates actually for the Sages. Even on top of that, they even lost their Sage on the attacker side. So the advantage really comes in for Gen.G at this point. It's a great way that they're able to do that trade. I do like the idea of the Viper Pit inside mid just to take that control so that they can't get any information from the vent side. They can't get information from ropes. So now the spike can get picked up, or they could choose to work together inside the Viper Pit and work together. Especially with that neural theft, probably is going to be the call for them to fake once or twice.
Yeah. Let's see if Som's able to do something now, making his way towards the spawn now. Doesn't actually see Cypher. They don't see each other.
It's going to be big now then.
Huge. Yeah, this becomes massive now.
Because as you can see from that minimap, Cypher expected it. He was looking, and he's even looking towards the B, and there's that flank, but he could get immediately flanked very soon. So Som is staying towards the heaven. Neural Theft is maybe going to help Som. He does get the kill before it even comes off. So Mikael falls, and Effie's is now stuck, knowing where he is. They're reassessing their positions. It's a 3 versus 1. He does have an ult this time to be able to go for a res at heaven if he wanted to, but they're closing up on him.
Oh, he's going for it. Okay.
And they're going to peek right after that. There's that kill, but not a second one. So Som picks up the last one. It's going to be 7-4. Could possibly reset once again, Gen.G.
Yeah, taking a look at their money now. I mean, it's the last round. Regardless, that's true. It's the buyout, right? So
yeah, 2 of them at 3K.
But the problem is what they're buying out with, right, on the last round, and it's the round that kind of caps off the half, right? And when you're playing that half, if you get the opportunity to have like a blowout final round of the half where you absolutely smash a team, that gives you so much energy going into that second half. And really coming in with the lack of weaponry to do so is going to make it very difficult for Gen.G to put a stamp on the end of this first half.
So right now I'm reading in chat. Thank you so much for updating us with the score, guys. TSM up 6-5, and we also have Immortals winning 8-6. And if that goes into who we think are going to move forward into the semifinals, which would be a great match to cover. That being said, though, back in this action, showstopper from Ghost to trade off from the first kill onto Cute Fat Boy. As they have overtaken this A bomb site, it's a 4-on-4 situation. They do have an orbital strike, but they canceled out the orbital strike on the defenders at least.
Wasted ultimate from Silva as well here, not tagging onto anybody.
Your duty is not over.
Rez, I think, from a spike plan, thankfully. So now it's back on a 5 versus 4. It's a trade-off as well, as Ghost gets a satchel kill on top of that onto Mikael. So now it's a 4-on-2 situation, make that a 4-on-1. Rez is trying to move forward inside the site. Walks out, first headshot onto Ghost. One is spotted here towards Orbs. He does get the reaction shot, thinking that the second one was going to peek, knowing that Som was behind the flower pots. But Som played it smart, time in his favor again. And you know what? We said that they needed to get 2-3 rounds. They managed to get 5 rounds now on the attacker side for Som and company. So they're looking quite comfortable right now for a potential upset.
Yeah, that was everything right there. Picking up those 5 rounds now gives them that space, that opportunity. Now, if they make a mistake, the game's not over. You know what I mean? If they lose this pistol round, they aren't in the worst position ever, right? If we saw them with 2 rounds, if we saw them with 3 rounds, that's where it starts to get scary, right, Alex? So now they have a little bit of breathing room. They can get their mind into the game. If I'm on Gen.G, now I'm kind of getting nervous. I'm thinking, well, we just blew a massive lead. The opportunity to finish this half out. Guys, let's pick it up. Let's close this one out.
So we are in a sort of a pause right now, actually, because I don't see that timer coming down. Brimstone is still in spawn, so I think it might be an issue that they might have on the defender side here with Rarkar. Indeed it is. So 7-5 at this point. We could talk about a little bit, Evan, about how maybe Gen.G could hold here their lead on the attacker side. What can they do in your perspective?
I mean, if I'm looking, we're talking about Rarkar right now, right? His side?
I'm just talking about the attack in general, because you said that Gen.G blew a lead, right?
Yeah.
Now we want them to keep the lead because they still have it. It was 7-2.
So,
now it's 7-5.
I mean, when we're looking at their characters, right? I mean, on the side of, Som's side, we're looking at a very strong delay team, right? You have Cypher, you have Raze, you have Sage, you have Viper, you have Brimstone. So they're going to be able to slow you down. But what you can do is you can burn most of their utility. So you can make Brimstone use his smokes. You can make Sage use her ice wall, make her use her orb. You can make some burn through the Viper wall constantly, right, to keep you guys guessing. But it's all going to come down to mid control, in my opinion. Whoever owns mid is going to be able to actually run show here. I was trying to think of a Game of Thrones reference, but
you would have lost me anyways. I'm not a Game of Thrones guy. I might have frustrated a couple of people in the chat, but that's how it is.
Yeah, you definitely got a couple people in chat.
Definitely for me, though, I think on the attacker side, Sova and also the Cypher with the camera and the Recon Owl are going to be two important abilities that's going to help us find some information and where enemies could be so that they can assess position right now to take over the map. And it starts off right now with 4 players inside this mid side on this pistol round on the second half. And Psalm is actually winning here with the Frenzy. I don't really know why they shut it off because they don't really have anybody playing inside the ropes, so they could have left that going. But Guimont is actually starting to move forward. And you can see the delay that you're talking about here, Evan. They have frost orbs. They have poisons going on towards the ground as well that prevents anybody from moving up. Because that poison actually basically burns through you. Through the armor, through the health, and you can't get that back. It's not like the other clouds.
Okay, and as we pass that 40-second mark on the clock here, we're seeing GMD lead the team back to the B-bomb site. Right now, bump, bump is what we're hearing as they're moving on towards that, or sorry, towards the A-bomb site. Sorry.
All good.
It will be Cypher playing passively, however.
I love where that camera is. Did you see that position?
Yeah, that was a great camera angle.
Because I don't think you could shoot through that, right? Or maybe not see it as well. But nonetheless, though, here's the action moving inside. It's going to be cute Fat Boy getting the first kill inside A. A second one from Som as they're holding towards the A heaven. Meanwhile, though, at least moment of salvation. They do get the spike down at a default spot. Guimont trying to move forward here with his Sage. Trying to look back towards that spawn side. And Effie's is the one that's playing close to him as Sage. Here comes the toxic wall to come up. Cute Fat Boy pushing forward. It's a trade-off, and Guimont does manage to get 2 kills on top of that, though. Mikael in the back of the site. It's traded off. Paint shells on the ground. It's a 1 versus 1. Guimont only has 21 HP as Rockard jumps across the corner. Peekaboo, I see you with a headshot. Comes in for the defuse, and the pistol round is actually won by China Nguyen.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, Guimont just kind of held his ground there. I mean, don't get me wrong. But he could hear him, right? He could hear him moving behind him and stuff, and he just kind of was like, all right, I'm going to take the fight. I thought he was going to play like a little bit of a ring around the rosy and try to do it that way, but he chose to take the fight. Didn't work out for him. Way she goes sometimes.
I think it's just with the amount of HP that you have, too. You hear him, but you don't know if he's going to backpedal back and you do the extra step where it's only 1 shot that gets you in the face. I think from his angle, too, he had, a classic, if I'm not mistaken, right? So a classic from that position, go for a burst shot, you connect into the face. Usually it's a 1-shot kill, especially if Brimstone got damaged a little bit in the mid-round. So, again, it's just the way that the player wanted to play, and it came down to that Brimstone being a little bit stronger on the element of surprise with Rarkar. So, DXN, getting the first kill with that Spectre. Looking down towards this mid with support from Som again.
I think we'll probably see a wide swing. Maybe DXN's going to go to play on top of that in a second dive.
Yeah, ooh, snake bite going down.
Yeah. Ooh, nice shot from Som as well.
And that's the play. We see how this is being played so far from the defensive side. Meanwhile, though, because they've lost that pistol, they only have pistols right now for the attackers, so it's okay for us to talk over this because it technically should not be their round for Gen.G. But so far, what have we seen? Well, you see what I mean with that burst shot? Burst shot is so good with the classic.
It's so strong. It's so strong.
So they have the poison cloud that starts off with Som. Then after, as soon as it's about to dissipate and he's going to put his bubble down, then you have a sage wall that goes up. After the sage wall is up, they immediately throw a snake bite on the ground, and once a snake bite is done, they throw an ice orb. So they've done that every single time. And that's the way that they've been trying to hold down as much as they could. So continue to add pressure towards this mid side, and you can utilize a lot of their utilities early into the round, and then overtake the B heaven right after for gunfights.
All right, quick camera being broken there. Wire being broken as well, I do believe.
Yep. This is going to be tough right now for Cypher. The only thing he probably has left is a cyber cage, and he actually has it on the ground. It's not up in that section of the entrance of B. But we do have an attempt to play very aggressively here towards this mid side, but it's going to be Gen.G that takes the upper hand. So they have a 1-man advantage and a wall-to-wall. That's going to keep the attackers actually at bay. Michael, though, still manages to get the kill on Rarkar, but Cute Fat Boy's in a great position. He's going to hear them fall back, so nobody's there so far.
Yeah. That's a rough death right there, Alex. You're looking at that A bomb site. It's completely open now. The rotation coming in from Cypher, they don't know where he is.
Yeah.
Right? Look at the rotation that they have to go through. At this point, I'm saying save those weapons. It's a 4-on-2. You have no information.
And you see where those 3 deaths were from defenders. They were all at mid-side, but the difference was they played a lot more aggressively than they usually do. So they tried to change their pace a little bit, and it doesn't pay off. So I think they're going to try to go for a let's not go with anything that's broken so far. We'll go back to that Sage and Viper at mid-side. And I think that's where Gen.G could take advantage of utilizing those abilities early into the round and then reassess towards this mid-take.
Okay. The bomb starts to tick away. Doesn't look like any exits. Maybe we'll see an exit come right now as we are seeing Cypher move towards the back halls of A, but even then, we are seeing the attackers, they've all dipped out of the bomb site. Nothing really happening here. Oh, and Effie's able to take him down. That's going to be the attackers taking the lead.
Took a while, but we finally have a round back here on the scoreboard for Gen.G. It kind of sucks that we don't. So yeah, exactly, and we kind of sucks that we're not able to see what the rounds were like from round per round because we're still working on the observer mode from what Riot was saying. We really just wanted to focus on the launch and get the game into our hands, which we completely appreciate here, Riot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Riot. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to start tallying those scorelines manually. I'm gonna use a lot more paper than I expected tonight. But there you go. This is what I'm talking about here. So we're putting that poison cloud down first, and then it's gonna come up here. So nothing's changed now from the defense, from what has worked for trying to win. And meanwhile, though, we are finally having that raise back at the mid side. Don't know if they're gonna throw the satchels and stuff like they did towards that wall. And you can see them right now. They're all backing up once again towards mid at Ramen, and they're going to try to re-execute towards B.
Just a little bit of pressure being applied. Those ice walls being broken. But other than that, nothing really too extreme happening here, Alex. Yep. We are going to see the team setting up towards B now as Gen.G does pick up the spike. It does look like a 3-2 split is what they're going to favor. As they're going to go through that B heaven. We have Cypher positioned in the back of the site. Sage up on that scaffolding or that second area. And then we have Viper just hanging out towards the B stairs.
So the operator is going to have to come up huge in the back of the site. Cute Fat Boy is going to be the first one. It's going to be an owl to actually give his position away. They're trying to spray across the wall, but he gets a better angle in the middle. Here's a showstopper. And that is going to be a connection from Guimont onto Cute Fat Boy as he moved in from that heaven side. So that's what we talked about. They were forced to retreat towards the back after utilizing all their abilities. And now the attackers overtake the B bomb site. They get the spike down. We have a 4-on-3 situation. Viper and Raze trying to come back here with that Brimstone. And it's Rarkar looking to go for a smoke execution on this retake. They're breaking this wall towards the back. And Rarkar is going to be the first point of contact most likely.
I'm going to talk about something after this round as Mikhail does take down Som here, and he gets the kill onto Ghost. It's up to Rarkar now, and Effie's is going to drop him. But Guimont didn't get the kill. GMD didn't get the kill on the guy he was trying to get the kill on. He went to flick the rocket onto Sage, but he didn't hit the top of the thing. So instead it flew down and hit Cute Fat Boy in the sight. I'm just saying, like, I'm 100% sure. Yeah, I'm 100% sure GMD did not mean to get that kill. That is amazing. That is amazing.
So now, thanks to that, they get that round coming through. It's 9-7. Close match as we expected so far as we move into this round. Forced eco coming in for the defenders, and we're trying to get a sheriff shot from Cute Fat Boy, but he got frozen on the ground, couldn't really move, and he gets easily picked off here by player 1, who puts a stim onto the ground to connect easily onto DXN. Could pick up this orb if he wants to as well, but the B site is now open. Meanwhile, though, Som is actually being picked off here at that mid site as well. And he's down to 22 HP, and they don't really have a healer to help him out. So at least they have that crossfire set up towards that mid side, but that's pretty much it.
Let's take a look at it now. We're seeing a little bit of jiggle peeking going on. The A site is being rotated onto now. Cypher first on the scene here. Should be a fairly clean-cut round here, Alex.
Yeah.
They're going to scoop the orb as well. Smart decision before moving in.
Mika is already in a great position here towards this heaven. The only thing that's not being covered is the spawn sign. And that's where Som is walking over to, but he's only at 22 HP. Now he decides to walk back up towards heaven. That should be an easy kill. Indeed it is. And the last one's about to peek out. Wall bang attempted, and it does connect.
That was fancy.
Yo, you fancy.
All right, and I do believe Immortals just beat in FNS's team.
Yeah, 13-6 and 13-6 Immortals versus We Are Terrific Together, and then 13-10 for Code 7 versus Me and My Dogs.
Okay.
So that's our first semifinal matchup. Sorry, that we're gonna see on the other end of the bracket.
Camera taken out.
As now we're following player 1.
Does look like he's looking to make a little bit of contact. That camera's probably going to spot him here in a second. I do believe he's looking at his feet through the camera right now. If he gets any closer to that entrance. Is there any way for us to hop onto Cypher here? And see the camera that he's looking through? Yeah. So he's going to be able to see their feet. And they aren't going to be able to see anything here. So, I mean, that is perfect. Look at that.
Yeah. And sorry, Code 7 plays the winner of this matchup. Sorry. So that would be determining our first semifinals. So on the other end, we're trying to wait to see what's going to happen with the action first, as we do have the orbital strike coming down towards that mid side. That was crazy. How did he satchel charge to get out of there?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but that's a big kill taking down the Sage. Did Sage have ulti as well?
Yep.
There you go. That's exactly what I mean. That's the most massive kill in the round that you could ask for, right? So
yeah. And because they've been holding that angle for such a long time, I guess it was that really smart move from player 1 to utilize that orbital strike towards that B-side heaven. Rawcar, though, playing on the top of the A ramp, evening it up on a 4 versus 4. Ghost onto Mikael. Finally traded out, though. As there's only 13 seconds left on the clock. If they get the kill onto the spike carry, they do!
Huge.
And he's going to throw a molly on top of that. I don't think they were going to be able to come in to get the plant.
No,
what a round.
Time is done. Now you're just going for kills.
What a round.
Okay.
We talked about a huge kill and much needed there from the attacker side.
Yeah.
But they saw Rawcar on the top of that A ramp.
I don't
know why the Brimstone just continued to run without really looking towards that area in case he was being spotted or white swung.
Maybe he didn't think that there would be another contact. Maybe he thought that he was falling back.
Yeah.
That's a rough one to lose. Nonetheless, we're gonna see Som and Co live to fight another day.
And thank you again, chat. Gold Class Gaming saying that it's 12-6 right now for TSM versus Way Too French. So it is looking very close to an Immortals TSM semifinals, Evan.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, here we're determined to see who's going to face off against Echo 7 between China Nguyen and Gen.G. And as we focus back on the action, Rawcar is looking to regain some information onto the A-ramp side, so he smokes himself out just to get a high ground position. As he's playing this side... Okay, he does have his teammate towards elbow, and that's going to be the Rays playing there.
Yeah. You call it elbow. I call it L-hole.
Yeah, elbow, L-hole. It's shaped like an elbow, shaped like an L. We both win.
Yeah, exactly.
Elbow sounds like L anyways.
Oh, look at you. Oh, and he shoots it out. Quick.
He gives a position away, though. Yeah, and Mikael is going to be able to get that headshot onto Rawcar, even a neural theft, so that's going to give a lot of information. So they're going to spot that Raze inside that site. But he's moving in on his own because the rest are actually storming inside this B bomb site. So cute Fat Boy gets the first kill, traded off immediately by Effys, who gets a double kill on top of that. Effys does get the res back on it to player 1.
That's massive.
Sova still trying to move in to get this spike plant inside B. Meanwhile, Cypher is holding inside spawn to catch rotations there. You do have the Raze trying to catch rotations at mid, and now Sage is watching towards spawn. So they have all the angles covered. And it should be an easy round here that's going to force Ghost to go on a save. Maybe for some exit kills.
Okay.
There's one.
He needs to stay up, man. Can we see the money here real quick? Let's see what he's looking at. Yeah, he needs to stay up. And that's not going to happen. See,
they know that too, though, right? So
yeah, exactly. That's why they were hunting so hard, right?
Yeah.
But like the issue was, for those of you wondering, Psalm's at 1900. If he was able to keep the gun, he would have dropped it to Psalm. He would have been able to buy everybody's head happy. But now in this situation, we're going to look at Psalm, and Psalm's probably going to end up, all right, go get in the corner with that shotgun.
Yeah, Bucky's actually not so bad at that range, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly. If you
Bucky
just
right
yourself
clicks
in that corner, boom.
Yeah, Bucky right clicks are actually quite deadly. And you could see it right now. He's just... I don't know if they're going to try to change their positions a bit the next time they're going to see a Brimstone ult available on the attacker side. But they've been pretty... Okay. I like this. I actually like this.
Now we're getting fancy. Yeah, now we're getting fancy.
So he's going to use the staircase to his advantage, so he could go for the right clicks if he could. Oh, no. So I think he tried to go for a right click onto the boom bot, because when you hear that sound, it's really ineffective damage, and then it could just spray through that from the sound. But at least DXN is able to get a kill here onto player 1 and also nullify the drone owl to fall back inside the site. Looking for a rotate as well, and just like that, it's a 4-on-3 situation. They do have a res available if they want to, though, from the DXN. To even it up a little bit more.
The full retake is coming up. DXN's able to take down GMD. Ghost now taking down Mikhail. But we're still into a 2-on-1. Ghost does have ulti. And he's in. And he's across. Oh. But he blocked himself.
Sometimes you see a lot of nice satchel jumps with the showstopper, but that time was not one of them. And as he peeks out, Nguyen gets the kill with the operator. So it's now 12-8. Match point right now for Gen.G.
Yeah. I mean, Gen.G's been pretty dominant on this half. We thought that maybe we would see some life out of them. We've seen a few good moments out of China Win, but mostly I think they just need some more time to just work as a team. I think Gen.G's just too practiced. It always seems like they always have a game plan, a rotation in mind of how they want to approach the map, and it's showing right now.
Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to try to go for an all-out rush because, again, this game, you hit tab, you can see how much money that they have on the other side. And it's still going to be Rockar that pushes out. Oh, nice shot here from the Sheriff. A second one going for a third, but it's traded off by Effys. There's nobody else inside the site. They do have a res if they could do it right now. But they're just going to hold their grounds just for a bit because they're going to use the Brimstone smokes just to try to get some coverage before they go for a res here. But they already have the rotation from the defender side. And it's DXN here, crossfire set up with the Viper.
No, this is good here. They made their way into sight. They're only worried about heaven. They're going to get this bomb down eventually. We're probably going to see Sage wall off spawn in a second. Yep, that's exactly what just happened. Now Sage is going to move into the site here, and they're just going to play a hard retake. Ooh. Oh, as Effys gets spotted, worrying about now that orb side as well as...
There you go. That's why I like that. So you work as a group, you work together, you get the res up.
Going down.
Will you be able to run out on time? You will. At least that spike is counting down, right? So Effys is inside the site. Crossfire is set up with the Brimstone in the back of the map. Pain Shell's coming through. Deagles, or Sheriff, sorry, coming in from the spawn side, but Effys connects onto Cute Fat Boy. He's going to get for the re-heal. And it's traded off by Som, who does get a double kill up from player 1, sorry. That's DXM and Som falling down. Ghost gets the frag with the Sheriff, and they stay alive. Holy crap. That was a little bit more different than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, that turned around really quick. I mean, but even then, they had a good hold going on. I think if Effie's picked up that kill onto Viper, completely different round, Alex. However, not able to do it. That's a great satchel charge as well that we saw. That satchel peak there from Ghost at the end, that was perfect.
And it's the sheriffs that just came into play there. So was it Ghost that was close at the ramp that got 2 kills with the sheriff? Then you also had cute fat boy that came in from the spawn. And somehow, as you have pistols versus the rifles, even in a post-plan situation, you still lost the fights on when you have the angle watching that spot first. So I think it was a Sage, right, that was holding towards L or elbow, and he still lost that fight versus cute fat boy. So they managed to live another day here for the defender side.
Down.
And right now, from looking at this B map, they have absolutely nobody towards this B side. So 3 guys towards mid, 2 guys are looking up towards the A side ramps before, and they're even cheating a 4th player across towards this B side hold. This is interesting right now for trying to win.
Oh, great ultimate coming in from Sova there. Mikhail able to take down cute fat boy now. Ultimate as well coming out towards that B main. DXN trying his best to defend here. The ultimate coming out from GMD as well as FE takes down Rockar. It's all on Ghost, Alex.
Ghost is on a 5 versus 1. This is going to be such a tough feat. He does have a showstopper if he wants to. So he's going to have to come up huge. Even a molly to give his position away, a camera, and it's now done. I don't think he'll get it at this point.
It's
Paint
over.
Shells at least trying to clear out the right side. Free-fired shot, actually. I like that. He does manage to get the first kill. Now he's at 1 HP. 1 HP, Inner Dream with a showstopper. Fakes it out, goes for the rocket, does connect onto Nguyen. Now, as soon as he walks in, he's got a high-low stack here. And here it goes. Mikhail and his teammate on that high-low double stack. Does get the kill, and we will have Gen.G move forward to the semifinals to play against Code 7. But meanwhile, I gotta say, it was actually a very good fight, though, at least for trying to win. But once they were figured out on how they played this mid-side defense here, Evan, it was hard for them to hold. If it wasn't on orbital strikes from the Brimstone, you saw it from the last round from the Sova ultimate with the Hunter's Fury. It connects to his opponents on the top of that B heaven. A little bit higher could have been needed. He could have probably had like 2 kills if he wanted to. But as soon as that hits, everybody's scrambling around like they're scattering around like cockroaches basically at B heaven. And it was just easy for them to take that B side.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great way, great implementation of Sova's Hunter Fury.